This is the time our car broke down after trying to sell a show. Okay. I believe this was 2017, might have been 16, somewhere around there. So at the time, we had wrote this script for a show. And for those of you who know about Hollywood and the things that go on in Hollywood, when you write a script for a show, you can either A, go fund it yourself. We didn't have the funds. Or B, you can shop it and try to get, somebody to pick it up, buy it. Or you can crowdfund and try to get, so there are different ways. Our version was give it to our manager, let's go shop this thing. So our manager lets us know that, hey, there's this new company called Quibi. I don't know if some of y'all remember it. It was like this new app that was gonna be revolutionary, and the way it did things, it was, yeah, that's what it was. He was like, hey, they are looking to buy shows. I got you guys a meeting. All right, bet. Let's do it. That's that portion of the story. Now, other portion of the story is, so I had this 2006 GMC Envoy. Now, this GMC Envoy took us everywhere, right? It really did what it needed to do for the unit and for what we needed to do for. But it had been worn down to the point that when we when we would get in the car, we would have to pray to make sure that it started up the right way. So much to the point where we would be embarrassed to like valet it somewhere, because if the valet went to crank it up and it didn't crank up, we was gonna be stuck. And it would just take a long time to get it back going. So on this particular day of the meeting, everything was going good. I was like, okay, cool. This should be fine. This should be perfect. Because I cranked it up a few times, make sure it was right. Anybody who has a car that needs a little love on it, you understand. Sometimes you got to tap the hood. You got to do certain stuff just to get the car rolling. I didn't want to get another car at the time because that means car payments. This car was paid off, been rolling around in it. I had a mechanic for it, but the mechanic was like, it needed something at the time that I didn't have the extra money for. So we ain't got time for that. And we had to go to VidCon this same day. So the plan was hit the meeting first, leave, drive down to VidCon, because right now the car is working perfect and it looks like everything is gonna be fine. Cool. We load up in the car, we drive to this meeting. I can't remember, I think the meeting was in Culver City. We get to the meeting, we get in the office, they're explaining this whole app to us and everything, and so then we get into our pitch. And the pitch goes good. The pitch is like, I forgot it. We've done a lot of pitches at this point. The pitch goes good, it goes great. So we walking out the meeting, everybody is like, dapping up, like, we did our thing in there, man. Did our thing. So we go to get in the car. And we talking because, the vibe is up, the vibe is good. Go to crank the car, I hear that click, 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 click. I was like, oh man. Here's the other scary part. We're in the garage. So getting anything towed and stuff out of here is gonna be a lot. You're gonna have to push it out, it's gonna be a lot. And we pulled in.
Luckily we reversed it.
I thought we did reverse it, just in case.
Yeah.
We did reverse in. Click, 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 click. Everybody like, oh man. And we needed to get to VidCon. We had things to do at VidCon. So we like, okay. So we sitting there, we thinking like, all right, what can we do? First, our manager comes out, and he's like, "Oh, everything good, guy?" And we kind of, I don't, we just like, yeah, no, everything will be good. We gonna be all right. Click, 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 click. Then this is what tops it off. We see why they all came out at the same time. I have no idea.
We all was leaving.
I know, but I thought they.
And you had to come that way to exit.
But I thought they was. I thought they had more work to do. Every executive that we pitched to was walking out at the same time, and our car is right there. As we, because we all some standing outside the car, some is trying to crank the car. Click, 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 click. So now they asking questions. Now we trying to like tread the line of, do we let them know, like, is this funny? To like, hey, I know we just pitched the show, also our car is broke down. Or is it like these guys aren't prepared for what what we got going on? I think we made us some excuses. We was like, yeah, no, sometimes, sometimes the car be tripping sometimes. So, it's all good. And it just felt like each executive asked us a different question as we had to answer each question. It's just a juxtaposition of going and pitching a show and then coming out and your car not working. It's literally like our show title, Broken Famous. It was really that energy right there. So they leave. So we in the parking lot. Now we getting to the point where like, okay, we may have to tow it. But then we waited a minute. We did like some tricks with the car. We were like, okay, maybe if we wait a little bit, we'll have some better luck. Waited a few more minutes. The next thing we know, we hit it one more time, and she cranked up. We were like, okay, cool. You would think we would try to find another option to drive down to VidCon. Nope. It's ridiculous. When you really think about it, why wouldn't we just go like rent a car for the day? I know we had at least, we could have done that easily. We drove that car down to VidCon. And here's the thing. It didn't give us any more issues the rest of the time. Thank goodness. But that also was idiotic to take that chance and drive that car because it was about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive. Maybe an hour and some change down to Anaheim. And in traffic. If that thing would have cut off in traffic, just an extra tidbit. Mike used to DJ these parties, right? And they had you had to valet. So literally we would pray every time because the valet would have to get in, take it down. So when the valet would bring it back up, we would be like, hey, whoa, don't cut it off, don't cut it off.
Usually they cut it off and give you your key.
Yeah, usually cut off and give you a key. It was like, hey, don't cut it off, don't cut it off. Don't even cut that thing off, man. Leave that right there. Because we were scared if it cut off, and I'm talking about it's right in the center of where everybody coming in at the party. You can't let nobody see that. Moral of the story is just get the things fixed you need to get fixed. Don't play around with it. When you play around with it, trying to cut corners, you end up cutting off. So that's the story of how we pretty much our car broke down right after a pitch meeting.
I ain't even got no questions because I was there.
You was there. The only question is, why was we doing what we was doing?
Stressful, man.
So stressful. Also, little other side bit. Then later on, that car starts making noise. At this point, I had got another car. I was like, I'm not dealing with it. Mike was driving it. But it was making this loud noise. And Mike would be, I'm talking about, it was clank, 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 clank. People, it was so loud, you could hear Mike coming from down the road, and people be staring outside like, what's that noise? And my man didn't care. Shades on, music up. Shades on, music up, and he is just rolling through the city. That shit was loud. Like, it was obnoxiously loud. It was like, hey man, we gotta get that fixed. You can't just go around clanking around everywhere. Shout out to Clank Clank.
You went from cars testing us to you You got a Tesla.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm so glad, thankful for better days now because that was a lot. So yeah.